I, just like many other iPhone Pro Max users, don't use my phone to its full potential. I'm mainly just browsing, messaging, doom scrolling. I'm barely scratching the surface of what a Pro Max phone is capable of. The only reason that I bought this last year was because I wanted a big phone, I wanted a phone with the ProMotion display, and also things like better battery life, and the Pro camera system is also nice to have as well. These Pro cameras though are really wasted on me. All I'm doing is taking selfies and photos of my dog. I'm by no means a pro photographer, and even if I was, I probably wouldn't use an iPhone. With the iPhone 17 being so good this year, the one thing that they're missing is a Plus version. I would literally get the iPhone 17 Plus, but they're just not doing it this year. So instead, I've picked up the iPhone Air, and this was really intriguing to me. First of all, we've got a smaller, but slightly more manageable 6.5-inch screen as opposed to the 6.9-inch screen on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's also got a Fusion camera system, which I'm pretty sure is going to be good enough for 90% of people, myself included. The iPhone 16 Pro Max, once you throw a case on this thing, it can feel really chunky, really heavy. In fact, iPhones in general have been getting thicker and heavier ever since the iPhone 12, since they switched to this boxy kind of design. So much so that I've actually switched to the S25 Ultra as my main phone, and I've been using this for about 5 months now. But the question is, can the iPhone Air really replace my 16 Pro Max, or am I going to start to miss some of the Pro features? Let's get it and let's find out. So one thing that the iPhone Air's got this year that the Pros don't have is a black colour. Honestly, why didn't they come out with a black version of the 17 Pro Max? But unfortunately, black only came in the 17 and the Air model, which is what we're just about to check out now. And here it is. So, wow, that is thin. Look at that. We finally got ProMotion on the iPhone Air, which is a welcome improvement. Honestly, why didn't Apple include that before? The phone is obviously a lot smaller than my Pro Max, but honestly, it's quite a manageable size. I do find with this phone using it one-handed, it's a little bit annoying to reach with my thumb, and it's also so thin and light. I think this would be the perfect daily, honestly. The only thing that I'm worried about with this phone is the battery life. Now, lots of YouTubers are coming out with battery tests and stuff, but it'd be interesting to see how it actually works in the real world. In terms of other stuff that we get in here, we just get the charging cable and no Apple stickers. So here we have the Fusion camera system. It'd be interesting to see how well this actually works compared to the Pro Max phones that I've been used to. And it'll also be interesting to see how durable this is. I'm not going to try and bend it, but it's made from titanium, which actually is not being used in the Pro versions this year. And this smudges quite easily actually. Some debris got in my case and it's actually chipped my 16 Pro, which is really annoying. So I'm hoping that won't happen with this. So let's just pop it in the case real quick. I've also got a screen protector as well, just to be on the safe side. But yeah, straight away, this is a really good combo. I'm really liking how thin and light it is. This honestly, if the battery life's good on this might be my main phone. One thing that's super cool about this phone is a lot of the core components are actually in this sort of camera bar as well. Right, let's just turn it on, see if we've got any battery life. It's weird how the iPhone Air has got the A19 Pro chip and not just the standard A19. I believe it's for efficiency, but we'll have to see, because if this thing overheats, then it's going to be a bit of a deal breaker for me. And also, doesn't look like it, but some people were reporting that you get condensation in the camera, but luckily mine doesn't have that, which is good. Right, and here we are. So we're into iOS 26, which is my first time using it. I haven't actually got the beta on my phone, but yeah, it's looking very glass-like, I guess you could say, with the new liquid glass. But yeah, this is feeling super smooth and snappy with the ProMotion screen. I think they've also added a anti-reflective coating if we compare it to my S25 Ultra here. Yeah, you know what? I'd say the S25 is slightly better, but yeah, overall, pretty good package to be honest. And I can just tell straight away that this just feels so much more heavier than this. This is smaller, it's just so much easier to carry around. In terms of battery life, we're on 62%. It'll be interesting to see how much this goes down once I'm setting it all up. But overall, I'm pretty impressed. The other thing that I'm going to have to do for the first time is actually transition over to eSIM. In the UK, all phones, apart from this one now actually, ship with a SIM card tray. So now I'm going to have to get switched over to eSIM and get this set up. But for now, I think Apple's new thin phone, the iPhone Air, might be the smartest upgrade. This could be Apple's best iPhone in years. And I really hope that comment ages well. But hey, maybe I might do a day in the life using this very soon on the channel. So make sure you guys get subscribed and look out for that. But yeah, I'm going to go and set up this now. We're going to get switched over from my iPhone 16 Pro Max. Which one would you rather take a mirror selfie with? Probably this one, right? But I think I could get on with this, you know? And I think a lot of people that do have Pro Max phones just don't need it. You'd be far better off with an iPhone Air or even the iPhone 17 base model this year. It is so good. But yeah, I'm interested in trying this one out. Let's see how it goes. So hopefully I don't regret it. Otherwise, this might have to go back.